coming to you live and electrified. This is live from the Double R podcast. My name is Noah.
My name is Casey, and we got a very, very special guest.
We sure do.
Joining us live at the Double R.
What up, what up?
You know that voice?
Do they?
Yeah,
They
of
do
course.
now.
Yeah,
Can I introduce myself as the one and only?
please do.
The one and only Jordan Alexander Pastor.
Give it up.
Golf clap.
Thank you. Thank you. Stoked to be here, you know.
Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
Yeah.
I get to view every week with you. And
Which is an adventure
yeah.
most times.
Yep. Definitely an adventure. And we spend all Sunday nights talking about it. And then Monday, when we get home from work, we talk about the
Wait,
episode.
all Sunday nights? So you just like, episode's over.
We talk
you
about it
just-
for like a solid hour.
Okay.
So, not to give too much information, Noah and myself are brothers.
Whoa.
If you guys didn't pick up on that already.
Okay.
And
okay.
we live together.
Really?
It's we have a little clubhouse going.
Yeah, this is not like a big if true thing. This is
Well, it's true
because it's big.
and it's big. Yeah.
Big because true.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
Wow. I love this brother dynamic going on here.
Where is our friend Kevin this week
I
anyway?
don't know. Where is he?
Took a week off for the 4th of July and we haven't heard from him since.
I think he might be missing, much like several characters on Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully he
He
shows
didn't
up.
walk by any
Hopefully,
sycamore trees, did he?
oh,
I hope not.
not sure. Hopefully he sends us a message from beyond.
I wonder if Sydney has sycamore trees.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That's where he is. No,
yeah. Kevin Call is in Australia, and
that's huge.
that's huge. He should be back next week though, to discuss episode 10. But now we are discussing episode 9.
Yeah.
The
Holy
break is over, and it's as though episode 8 never existed.
Yeah. We had 2 weeks to digest the artistic masterpiece that was episode 8 and finally got a little bit of normalcy with this one. We start off right away kind of finding out that Cooper, the bad Cooper, as the internet says, I think they've been calling him Booper.
Really?
For bad Cooper,
Oh, okay.
I've seen
Yeah, I like
on,
that.
on Twitter and Reddit. Well, the farm is no mystery, I guess. I thought they were going to play that out for a while because that's what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And
How long was he walking,
I don't know.
do you think?
He looked thirsty. I know that.
Maybe an entire day, because Tim Roth says, like, we expected you last night.
Yes.
Does that mean that when he was with Ray that night, he would have been there, so he just walked all night long?
Probably.
Dude, he was just on a mission. He's like, he didn't skip a beat. He was
No.
just like walking, grab that handkerchief, I'm here.
Very clear that Bob is still with him.
Yes.
Because I thought maybe when he got shot, he'd be Bob free.
Yeah.
But no.
Business as usual.
Yeah, all the farmers were asleep in the back.
They did.
Yeah, pretty dead.
I legit thought they were maybe asleep when I first
They
saw
looked
them.
like they were
kind
kind of
did.
sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the scene where he has the flip phone. He's sending text messages.
He sends text messages just like my mom, right from the hip. Like you keep the phone like right,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
close to like where your belt would be, and you just kind of like look down at it, type away.
Yep.
Do you
That was
think
amazing.
is he a T9 guy with that flip phone?
They showed him. They showed the interface of it. I can't.
At least in the previous episode 8, when they're in the car, it looks like there's some predictive text, T9 type style. But we see the girl who, from like the first or second episode.
Chantel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're all wet. And I was hoping to never see that character again because whatever. And then that one awkward dude who's kind of in charge says, oh, why don't you give him a wet one real quick?
Yeah, and just kind of looks off while they.
You're not a
Get the
Chantel
business.
fan?
I honestly,
She was quickly rising in my ranks of favorite characters on Twin Peaks.
Really?
Nah.
Okay.
wow, I can't even think of the dude's name.
Tim Roth.
That's the character's name.
Oh, the character's name. No, that's the actor's name. What?
Oh, it's Hutch. Gary
Hutch,
Gary
yes.
Hutchins.
Perfect name for a dude like that,
Absolutely.
dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about that bag of Cheetos to go? Who would have thought that?
Was it explicitly Cheetos?
It looked like an orange and red. I mean, maybe it was Fritos.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I thought for a second it was a wet wipe, and that he said, "Hey, give him a wet wipe," and like just like kissed him first, and then I was like, "Okay, here's your wet wipe."
Wow, that's hell of an interpretation. But yeah, who would have thought that Bad Cooper would like Cheetos or Fritos so much? But maybe that's why he needs to brush his teeth so badly. You know, a la the end of the second season. I still haven't brushed my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my conspiracy. That he
good
just
one.
he eats too many potato chips. That's why he says I need to brush my teeth.
Yeah. And then I think we transitioned to the airplane,
Yep.
right?
I
We
know,
got-
I know. Fuck you, Albert.
Diana and Albert are asleep, and Tammy gives the GPS phone or the satellite phone to
to Gordon.
to Gordon, tells him to quiet down because they're sleeping.
Yep, and he has one of his classic misinterpretations.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I don't appreciate that language. Oh, Buckhorn. I just love that they kept that gimmick going where he doesn't understand.
I know.
And you kind of have to leave it to your own interpretation to maybe what he had misheard.
Yeah, it never gets old, but like we said on a previous show, Albert kind of called him out.
Oh, yeah, like
You know?
you can hear me.
Yeah, you heard me. Yeah, of course. But I think he legitimately does have bad hearing.
They ever talk about it? They ever bring it up? Because I know in like the original series it says long story, hearing's long gone or something.
Oh, is that's all the background we've gotten?
Pretty much.
I forgot about that.
But he does say my favorite line, Coop flew the coop.
Yeah. Yeah, things are coming together now. So now the FBI, they know about Major Briggs' body, which has the ring that says Dougie and Janie E on it.
Yep.
And
That is correct.
they've got Dougie / Cooper's fingerprints now on that mug.
Yes.
David Keckner used his expert police
One of the Fuscos.
trickery.
Those Fusco boys.
I loved how he's like, he thinks he like tricked him into giving him a mug with his prints on it by giving him, he brought out like a fresh cup of coffee
Yeah.
and then took his old one. He's like, I got it now.
I'm guessing it's
Why
more
wouldn't he-
DNA though, like putting your lips on.
Yeah, but he could have just taken the one that was like sitting there after they left.
I thought that was Janie's coffee.
Oh, was it really?
yeah.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a little unclear.
It seemed like one of those Dougie things where he didn't understand that he needs to like put a cup down, like he doesn't have to hold on to it forever. So she had to put it down for him.
Oh yeah, she reaches across and
Yeah.
puts it on the table. Yeah,
I
Super funny.
I love the three Vegas cops, the Fuscos.
They're great.
There's definitely some very classic David Lynch filming
Oh, yeah.
with those guys in
Yeah.
their office. But it's sort of funny because every time I look at Keckner, especially, I just think of him and all the comedy movies throughout the years.
Yeah.
Being in Anchorman, and then being kind of the asshole in
Todd Packer.
Yeah, Todd Packer in the U.S. office.
Yep.
And so him playing the serious role, and I'm sure he's done that stuff, but I guess I just don't remember off the top of my head what he's done that's kind of more dramatic.
Yeah,
But they have definitely a lighthearted thing going on
right.
where they ultimately discover that the flesh from the gun is they knew who Ike the Spike was.
Oh yeah, they've been after him.
Yep.
They finally got him.
I thought that would be way more dramatic trying to when they finally catch him.
Totally.
Like he would jump out of a window and it'd be like this big chase. And
Yeah.
Nope, they just surround him and
Yep.
it's over.
He goes down one end of the hallway. There's guys with guns. He turns around, starts going the other way.
Yep.
What I
Guys
was
with guns.
thinking is, as soon as he turns around, where does he think he's going? Like, does he think Ike the Spike? Does he think he's going to get out of that situation just by going out the other end of the hallway?
Well, he had to try something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
but-
And one of the Fusco drops the line about we got your print on an attempted murder weapon, and then one of them goes more like your whole palm.
Yeah. There's that one Fusco that just keeps laughing maniacally too. It's really weird.
my
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was close.
Yeah. But I guess back at the station, we see one thing I did notice. Dougie's boss is in there getting interviewed about Dougie. They mentioned that he had a car accident some years ago, and that's why he acts a little strange.
Yeah, we get some.
Background, some clarification, because it just seemed like, how does nobody know that this guy is so slow right
Yeah.
now? And now it just, that is clear a little bit.
And he has episodes or something like that.
Yep.
Is that what they
Yeah.
call it?
But according to the Fusco detectives, that there is no information on Douglas
didn't
Jones
exist
before
before-
97.
Yes.
So I kind of wonder, with this coffee cup that they took with his DNA all over it, I wonder if that's going to show up as the Dale Cooper.
Oh,
Kind of wonder.
I do wonder.
I kind of thought that there would be more of a viral sensation to him fighting off a potential killer
Right.
too. And I thought Hawk or Sheriff Truman with his pop-up computer
Yeah.
desk, be like, hey, I saw this on Reddit. Does this look familiar to you?
Well, they shot that part 2 episodes ago as though it was sort of news footage, sort
yeah,
of like,
yeah,
let's get some witnesses from the crime, like it was going to be a huge story.
yeah.
And it might still be, but yeah, I'm with you. I thought that was going to get some publicity
I just think that there's
from
two-
a man, Cooper.
Right. I think there's a lot of things coming up here where, Ben Horn gets that hotel key, and now we're going to have prints probably discovered of Cooper in Vegas off
Yep.
that coffee cup. But I guess kind of moving on, we have that scene where Cooper is, maybe this is one of his triggers again. He sees the American flag.
Oh, that was amazing.
He hears America
Yep.
the Beautiful
and then he
playing.
sees Audrey-esque
Ooh.
the red shoes.
shoes sort of walking by.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. The red shoes, I was trying to figure out what that maybe was.
Yeah.
I think
That's
I went
what
to Annie right away, but that didn't make much sense. I didn't think at
Or
least. But
Caroline or some,
Yeah.
some woman from
Right.
his past.
Yep. Which led him from the flag to the outlet. So now he's seen the shoes on the statue.
Yep.
He remembered the shoes. It's like he's both remembering things from before he was trapped, and sort of like what helped him get out, the shoes and the outlet. It's like just
Oh,
wake
you,
up.
you know, another thing I noticed too with Dougie's bosses when he's in the office, he makes this clenching of the fist motion
Yeah.
over and over, and we see that in Fire Walk with Me with that character named Lil that Gordon Cole brings to Chet Desmond and Sam Stanley.
Okay.
And clenching of the fist means the local law enforcement's going to be trouble.
Oh, that's like a code.
Yeah, because Lil was basically all these codes, and Gordon puts his hand, the 4 fingers over his
Oh,
eyes
yeah.
for like federal prison.
Yeah.
But Lil has all these. She has the sour face. She clenches the fist, meaning local law enforcement's going to give you grief. I don't know. If
And
that's
this was
like
a similar like gesture.
pretty much, yeah. And
Wow.
it seemed very obvious. I thought he was maybe going into that fighting pose. That,
This is where it helps having a brother like Noah, because I would have never. I just thought he was upset and like was maybe going to try to fight the Fusco boys.
And you're sort of an expert in gestures, right? You've got a little bit of sign language.
There's a little sign
knowledge
back
there.
yeah, a little bit.
Can you show me a little llama?
I can show you a llama.
Let's see it.
Yeah, Jordan already did it.
The one thing that I learned from my brother Noah in sign language was I learned how to say "you eat llama poop."
My favorite is ejaculate and premature ejaculate.
I mean, I know what ejaculate is, but I don't remember.
Ejaculate?
You taught me this. It's this. Okay.
Ejaculate?
Okay, I'm gonna kind of narrate what I'm doing. With my left hand, I'm making a fist. With my right hand, I'm pointing with my finger, and I'm gonna move my finger to the fist. When it hits the fist, then I'll spread my fingers out. That's ejaculate.
Yeah, no.
Premature ejaculate is opening the fingers, then pointing to it.
I don't remember that being a
Show me
premature.
premature again. Premature.
So I
is-
guess opening your
So it's
left hand fist wide open before your pointer finger on your right hand touches it. I guess that's premature, according to you. I don't remember ever teaching you that. I think this may be a part of your bit here. But
Oh, okay.
The ejaculate is right.
Yes.
You take your left hand, closed fist, put your pointer finger kind of at the, between like your thumb and pointer finger,
Oh, it's specifically Gabby right there.
kind of right there.
Yep.
Yep. And then,
Explosion.
yep.
Explosion
God.
of ecstasy.
Anyway, you know what I loved about this episode now that the FBI is back in South Dakota again. we have kind of the explanation of what has happened of finding Briggs's body with the librarian's head being explained by Lieutenant Knox, was it?
Yeah.
Or no, not Lieutenant Knox, one of the other local detectives.
Big K.
Yeah.
Little N. Little
Oh,
O,
yeah, that's great.
Little X.
I can't remember the Buckhorn detective's name off the top of my head, but he's explaining kind of everything that has happened to Gordon, Albert, and Preston.
Oh,
And
as they're walking down the hall, they're
and
doing
Albert
a walk
just
and
goes-
talking. Yeah.
Albert says, "So what happens in season 2?"
Albert was on fire.
That was
this
some meta
episode.
shit right there. And when they're looking at the body, you can just tell he has this moment with the local forensic
Yeah.
lady. Gosh, I wish these characters were involved a little bit more than they have been, because I feel bad. I'm not a good podcast host, not remembering some of these.
You don't want to just call her the morgue lady?
It's Constance
Constance?
Talbot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Does he say something funny to her?
I think he points out that this body is a man in his 40s, and she's like, "Yeah, I know." And they both just kind of have this. We're both forensic scientists.
Yeah, right.
Looks towards each other. Albert has a lot of lines in this episode.
Yes.
I mean, later on he says like, "Fruitcake, anyone?"
Yeah.
During the interrogation of Mr. Hastings, but
He was featured heavily. Do you think? I feel like that actor doesn't get as much joy in doing that as he did in the original series. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like he
it-
kind of leaned into it like before, and now he's just sort of like, I'm too old to like care about this.
well, unfortunately, rest in peace, Mr.
I know,
Absolutely.
Mr. Ferreira.
Miguel Ferrer.
Ferrer.
He only died in January, but I'm guessing this had to be one of the last filming, pieces of film he did.
Yeah.
I know he was on that TV show, some crime drama with LL Cool J.
Yeah.
One of the NCI double SUV
Really?
type shows. Yeah.
The thing I remember him from most, and the first time I ever saw him was in Hot Shots Part 2.
And he's the villain in Blank Check.
Blank Check, yes.
Yep.
I've never heard of any of those things.
What?
so I don't think.
How old are you?
24.
Oh yes.
Well, as our dad would say,
Yeah.
Jordan is a millennium.
Not a millennial.
we were
Well,
at dinner.
So
like,
am I, and so are you.
Yeah, right. We were at dinner months ago. We were talking about doppelganger, and my dad goes, "What is that word? Doppelganger?" He's like, "Is that something millenniums say or something?"
and we had to go back and tell him the history of the word doppelganger was like centuries old. He
Yeah.
thought it was something that like a
Just
kid
a new, like,
on
slang.
Vine made up when he was like 14, and then Noah and I just picked it up.
Oh man,
It's like
But
everything is extra and doppelganger.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, he was totally convinced that we made that up. But
That's also coming from the guy that thinks knapsack is still the appropriate name for a backpack.
oh yeah, that's definitely our dad.
Your dad is elite, though.
It's his
Oh,
birthday
happy
today.
birthday
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
Stu.
let's give him a
Stuart
shout.
H.
Yeah, big ups to this guy.
Anyway, we're totally derailing.
Well, I was saying, okay, don't get me wrong, though. I love Albert, and I think he's killing it. It's a pretty fucking sick that he's been on the show so much.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
worried he'd only be just like a 5-minute feature or something.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I think in the first episode when they're back in the headquarters and there's that, it was part of the preview when Gordon goes, "Oh, Albert."
yeah,
I thought maybe that was going to be like the only time we saw him, and
Yeah.
definitely feel really good about the fact that he's one of the mainstays in this season.
It's really interesting how much they've chosen to feature what I'm calling the legacy characters.
but it's only certain ones though.
True.
Yeah, well, that's like,
Like I keep forgetting like Donna is not in this at all.
yeah, that would be sick.
And James Hurley didn't even say anything
Right.
when he was in it.
We haven't even seen Ed or Audrey.
Yep.
but we did see Nadine.
We did. For
We
2
definitely
seconds.
did.
And we saw
Johnny Horn
Yes,
and
sir.
Sylvia. Johnny Horn just running and
We
killing
didn't
himself.
see Sylvia.
Yeah, we barely got a
yeah.
glimpse.
Right.
Yeah.
But can we just acknowledge the fact that Johnny, like, is kind of Forrest Gumpish? Like, he was so fast running from room to room.
So
like, it
sick.
That's
looked
kind of like a Barry Sanders, Deion
Yeah.
Sanders hybrid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I would
until-
love to know his 40 on a good day.
Yep, but I think he might be done for him. Might be kind of dead.
Yeah.
either that or, yeah, he's probably dead.
Yeah.
That was a scene for fans. Too.
Oh,
To
100%.
be like, if you get this, you get it. You know exactly what's
I had a
happening.
friend text me the day after the episode, and he goes, "Who the hell was that ran into the wall?" Tommy Horn? I'm like, no, that's Johnny Horn,
Johnny.
Audrey's brother.
He wears the native headdress.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I sent him all these pictures and like, how do you not remember? Ah, man, from the funeral
Yeah.
of Laura Palmer.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny that it's not funny that he smashed his head into the wall, but there's like a scene where he's just sort of like knocking
In the
it.
pilot.
Yeah,
He's just
he's-
knocking his head against like a dollhouse
Yeah,
or something.
right.
But poor Sylvia, she's only going to be remembered for this scene and then Jerry Horn interrupting at dinner with all those baguettes.
Yeah, right. Oh, another great legacy showcase here was the wife of Major Briggs.
Yeah.
Bonnie Briggs?
Betty.
yeah.
Betty Briggs?
Betty Briggs, no.
She
We see Major Briggs' wife, though.
she straight crushed it.
That scene kind of made me like a little emotional. It felt
Oh,
so
dude.
throwback.
Oh yeah.
She crushed it. Like crushed ice.
It made
Like
me
crushed velvet.
number one, made me miss Sheriff Truman, Harry S. Truman, that is. It made me really miss the Major too.
Oh my god. Okay, this is something I want to talk about. They've done yes, it makes me miss him a lot.
It
but
is Betty.
They've done a pretty incredible job of making the Major somewhat like present on the show. Like the spirit of that character is like so involved. It almost more than like Cooper. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I've gotten more of the Major than I have of like Dale Cooper
Well, and
so
as
far.
we found out in this episode later on, like the Major is definitely very vital to this season's storyline.
He's been in the zone. He's been straight in the zone.
Because I think all the rumors and supposed leaked scripts for what season 3 was going to be back in the early 90s was that Major Briggs was going to help get Cooper out of the lodge.
Yeah.
And we see that scene at the end of season 2 where Sarah Palmer goes to the double hour with Jacoby and has a message for the Major and his wife sitting down and says, "I'm in the Black Lodge with Dale Cooper." And it kind of leads you to almost believe that maybe next season that's his job to do.
Yeah.
But ultimately, with his death some years ago,
Yeah.
everything's kind of changed. But
In a way, he kind of is though. He still kind of is. I mean, whether or not Dale is still in the Black Lodge or
Yeah.
not. I mean, we don't have Dale Cooper, and it seems like his presence or his character is still helping us, or the people in the show or whatever have you, find the real Dale Cooper with his little hints and whatnot.
Totally.
well, I guess moving on, talking about that scene about the 3 cops, Deputy Briggs now.
Yeah.
Deputy Bobby Hawk and
Showing
Frank,
up at the Briggs residence.
Yeah, and Frank going over there, and she says, I knew this day was coming, and she pulls out that little, I don't know what you call that device, but
Tube pill
yeah,
tampon.
yeah, right. Like a little missile.
She was great. She looked excellent.
She was really convincing to finally have some coffee.
Yeah.
Because they declined like twice.
I know. How are you going to decline? They really were after whatever they needed to talk to her about.
I was a little skeptical about Bobby when I first saw him.
Yeah?
I think it was back in episode 4. Because that was the episode where we saw Chad running drugs and being sort of sketchy, that
Yeah.
shithead cop. And I think Bobby's like turned around.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a good cop for sure.
He's straight, for sure.
And I think he's going to be pretty important to what's going on the rest of the season.
This I loved him in this episode because the first time he kind of showed up, it was sort of like a completely different guy. Like
Yeah.
he was acting totally different. And in this episode, he sort of bridged the gap. Like you kind of saw like the spacey sort of like weird like acting decisions that he did in the original series, like coming through again a little bit. Like
Would you say he has turned his character upside down?
totally upside down. But do you know what I mean? Like there's a little bit more of like a vulnerability to him. And like an aloofness that wasn't in that first episode.
No, I agree.
We have to remember that his character during the original run of the show, he's a senior in high school. And,
Yeah.
he's fucked up all the time
Yeah.
on coke, and his girlfriend just died. And
He's in this like crazy love affair with the woman whose husband is like a murderer.
Yeah. And Laura was fucking around on him, but
Yeah.
he's also fucking around on Laura. And his life is just totally different now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 25 years later, and it seems like we don't know if he's got like a wife or anything, but he always
What if
got-
he's still seeing Shelly?
God, that'd be
so sick.
I would be in on that.
I would be totally in on that.
that'd be
because
fantastic.
if this show, if I take anything away from this show, it's that I now like Bobby Briggs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love Bobby Briggs.
And I hated him before, but I'm completely on board. I've bought a ticket. I've boarded. I'm on board with Bobby Briggs.
Do you know what I love
3.0.
about Bobby?
What?
Sorry
Tell
to
me.
interrupt you there.
No, go ahead.
I love his reactions to when they're trying to open up this tube. What did we call it? A tube tampon pill or something like that?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. When they're trying to open it up and they're like, you see Hawk and Harry, or not Harry, you see Hawk and Truman.
Frankie boy.
Exactly. and you just see that reaction from Bobby of like, oh, I totally know what this is.
little
And
smug.
Yeah. And
Like
it's-
he lets them go inside to the room and is
Yeah.
like, I know what that is, and we have to go outside to open it.
yeah.
Can we just quickly
Like, why
comment-
wouldn't he just go outside of his own house and be like, I can open this right now for you guys?
Yeah. Can we just quickly comment how fucking rad everyone is towards Chad?
Oh yeah.
Like,
know.
Can you little help here? Open the door, and they're just like, ah. And Hawk finally opens the door when he's carrying his 2 TV dinners. Looked like he was eating cream corn for what it's worth.
Ooh.
I didn't piece together why they opened the window. Like, oh, because it probably smelled terrible in there.
Yeah, right.
And that dude's a slob.
Yes.
But anyway, then we go outside, and Bobby's able to open
Do you guys
it up.
understand the physical like logistics of how this thing gets open? You're supposed to let it vibrate for a certain amount of time.
Is this
And
sorry, go ahead.
Like he throws it on the ground, it makes a noise. He holds it to their ears, like lets them hear it, and he waits.
Oh, yeah.
He waits for it to stop. Once it stops, he's like, "Oh shit! I have to throw it down again, grab it, and then it'll open up."
You know what it makes me wonder? How tight his touchdown spike was.
Yes.
Looked like a
What-
Rob Gronkowski kind
It
of
did
spike
kind of
there.
a little bit, yeah.
Was he like an athlete?
He was a star quarterback.
yeah.
Okay.
Remember Leo Johnson? Go out for a pass, quarterback.
Quarterback. Okay. What did Mike play? Did they say?
I don't
Mike's
I
the
feel
only.
like he was like a tight end guy or receiver.
He wore
I'm
the
making that up.
jacket.
He did.
Bobby did, yeah.
Bobby wore a,
But so did-
he wore a leather jacket.
Yeah,
but
that's
Mike
right.
wore
That's
like
right.
a leather jacket.
Yep.
Like he was the obvious.
Hey, remember
Athlete.
when Mike was in Twin Peaks season 3 for 2 seconds?
He had a great. He
He chewed out that kid.
Yes, he had. I would give his legacy scene an A+.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that was fantastic.
Because you could just see that's what he was going to maybe go into in
Yeah.
the future. Just be like a dickhead banker kind of guy.
You know, once this is all over with, I'd like to rank all the legacy characters. Maybe we should spend an episode.
I kind of wonder who we're. So we're still missing Audrey and Big Ed off the top of my head.
But there's a lot of like side players that we might not even be looking for that might pop up. Like Betty Briggs, I would never have like
God, that
assumed
was
she'd be
great
on
too.
it. Yeah.
I get the feeling it's probably it for her.
Probably.
Yeah.
But she nailed it.
I was
She's
gonna-
like in and out.
Yeah.
Done.
Never mind. I have nothing to go off that.
So we get anyway, fellas. We get the reveal. We finally get Bobby opens it up. There's 2
Yep.
slips of paper, 253 yards east of Jack Rabbit's.
Palace.
That's right.
Alice.
And Bobby just kind of snickers to himself and says, "I know exactly where that is. It's a make-believe place that my dad and I came up with.
Yeah. I named it
October 1st and October 2nd.
2 times. Wait, no, 1 time, 2 dates. right? 253.
253.
So we can kind of assume that this is like you can get let in at this time.
We see the
Anything?
Owl Cave.
Yeah.
We see the one red dot, which I think kind of indicates that red balloon we've been seeing throughout the series or this
Oh.
season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say we also see like a moon. I don't know what you call like the shapes of the moon or whatever.
Yeah, like a crescent.
A crescent. Yeah,
Yep.
and
And then the little antenna little
Yep.
guy.
put some soil in your pocket before
yes.
you start heading east or something. But
That's
then
so that you can get back, I think. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't
These
know.
are wild predictions.
I mean, I know we're not like technically going to the theory den, but my first thought right away is this is going to lead you to Glastonbury Grove.
You think so?
I do think so.
Okay.
And they see on the second sheet of paper, it's just Cooper.
Cooper. Two Coopers.
With the third Cooper
Cut off.
Off.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, I believe it's first season or maybe early second. It was early second season after
Was it?
Dale had been shot.
Yeah.
The Major visits him.
Yep.
And says, I study all this space jargon stuff, and
Cooper.
the owls are not. They see, but it's Cooper 3 times.
Oh, there's only 3 of them?
There's 3 of them, but do you think? And now there's only 2 with
Yeah.
this season. Do you think one being cut off resembles
The Dougie
the Dougie
thing.
Yeah. Or just, it's a cut out
Sure
piece of paper or whatever.
It could.
There was one pretty good theory I saw online that the scene where Hawk is walking to Glastonbury Grove in like the first or second episode, and he's talking to the log lady on the
Oh, yeah.
phone, that has not happened yet. Because if that did happen, it's like, why not just keep trying to go there? All this stuff keeps popping up.
Did he flashed his flashlight and saw the curtains and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, that is kind of like why was that there?
This is kind of random, but kind of going off of dates and whatnot. And not to get too far ahead of ourselves. If you look at the timelines between South Dakota and in Twin Peaks, because I think they're like September 28th, 29th, because he said that's in 2 days, right?
Yeah. But then Will Hastings later,
Signs
and it looks like,
September 20th.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Oh no shit.
There's a lot of people who have zoomed in on that.
Yeah.
But it looks like a 20 for sure.
Oh,
So maybe they're a week apart from each other.
which
Wow.
who knows what that means, but
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
I was saying is maybe that hasn't happened yet.
But yeah, I mean, my ultimate theory as of right now, and God, who knows probably how far wrong I'll be, but I think that leads to the Grove, to the entrance of.
Yeah. To the zone.
Yeah,
It'll take you to the zone.
Search for the zone.com.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you. Have you guys ever had the lasagna here?
I haven't had it here before.
It's so good.
It looks delightful.
Yeah.
I usually just, I go with my sushi or like a little edamame. I mean, that's what I love about the
You never
double R.
share with me the edamame though.
Well, you always have an entire rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I didn't do the rotisserie chicken today. I did lasagna,
Finally.
and it's great.
Yeah,
I
it
would
looks-
really
it
recommend
does.
it to you. Maybe next time you come, you could order it.
Yeah, I will. And I got a meat pie instead of a cherry pie today.
Nice.
Yeah. Got steak,
Mince?
sausage. Yeah.
Oh, steak and sausage and mince.
It's like like a Supreme pizza. This is like a Supreme meat pie.
Yeah.
Like it has everything in it.
You're like a food opportunist. You're like,
You kind of are.
if I can pick my ingredients, I'm picking everything.
I'm kind of like man versus food,
Yeah.
but in the Double R Diner.
Right.
I'll
You
take on-
consider a meal a challenge.
Oh yeah.
This is why I never go in the kitchen at our house because that thing is like an absolute.
What's it like
shitstorm in
living
there.
with this alpha dog?
It's intimidating. I'll tell you that much. We share the same bathroom,
Okay.
Sure do.
Double vanity
and it's great. It's maybe the cleanest bathroom you'll ever walk into.
because
We hire someone to clean it.
nice.
Yeah, no, I'm not touching that thing. So,
Right.
I saw Centipede in there this morning. You're welcome.
thank you for killing that. By the way,
Yep.
my bedroom's in the basement. Also, don't plot to kill me because my bedroom's the only one down there. So, carry on. It was.
Except for you're never sleeping in your bed.
It's a good point. The centipede thing scares me a little bit.
Yeah, that sucked.
Wait,
But-
you're not sleeping in your bed? You're sleeping on the couch?
Well, there's a couch down there. It has a bigger TV.
Yeah, you fall asleep watching TV.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
got that Apple-
Playing Madden or something like that.
Jordan, you've been falling asleep to a lot of FG lately, Family Guy.
Yeah, that might be the millennium in me.
Yeah. Oh gosh. You know what I loved about this scene?
Which one are we talking about?
Well, the scene where they're at the morgue and
Oh, yeah.
number one, Diane says after she's told she can't smoke in there, it's a fucking morgue. She goes outside and we see Lynch or Gordon Cole and Preston
Tammy.
go outside, and
This is great, by the way.
it's so funny. Someone right after the episode ended on the internet pointed out that if you watch the scene, the door hits David Lynch in the arm.
Really?
And he starts to kind of lose it a little bit. And, it has that long, drawn out kind of typical Lynch thing
Yep.
where he's watching Diane smoke. And
Tammy squirming.
yeah, but if you look at Lynch the entire
His
time,
face.
he's like smiling.
Yes.
He's about to lose it.
Okay, the smile that he has. Are you saying that it's because?
The door hit him in the arm.
Because it-
Looked like it was pretty hard.
pretty like
Yeah.
he stumbles a little bit.
Oh my god. Okay, because that's
And they just
all
rolled with it.
all I could watch was him smiling at her on the verge of like laughter, and I thought that was like a weird choice. Like he was like, okay, I'm gonna do this scene. I'm just gonna like smile at her, but that makes more sense that it was like.
It's
That's
very
great.
it's very Lynch-esque to draw something out like that. The exchange between him looking at her and her cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if because he was trying not to laugh, like that's why it took even longer.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
I wonder if it
there's
was
so many
originally supposed to be
stories
like that.
about scenes like that, like the original in the pilot, I guess, when they go to look at Laura's body, and there's the tech or whatever who Cooper asked the guy if he could leave them,
And he says his name
He says his
again.
name, and then and Kyle MacLachlan just like says the line again, and then the guy's like, "Oh yeah," and then just leaves. And like, it's just stuff like I think
Yeah.
stuff like that happens all the time, and that's kind of like
The door just totally fucking nails it, though. It's so funny.
It's like looking at your
See that.
like dad kind of like stumbling. Like that's what it reminded me of a little bit.
We rewatched it like 3 times. Really? Because he just starts to. He has this huge smile on his face
Yeah,
after the
but
door
that's
hits
why.
him. Yeah.
You're
yeah.
saying, okay.
Oh, 100%.
And then that puff of cigarette he takes, by the way, the face he makes, I don't think I've ever seen more pure like ecstasy bliss on somebody's face.
For a guy who claims to quit smoking in his character, I'm pretty sure the dude still chain smokes all the time.
yeah. Does Laura Dern see it hit him?
I
too?
don't know. I don't
Okay.
think. I don't think Preston or Krista Bell or whatever her name is, or Laura Dern sees that happen, and he's just
Amazing.
smiling,
I gotta
like
go
about
back
to
and watch
lose
that.
it. I hope that only took the one take.
Yeah.
and there's no editing there.
Right.
Anyway, where do we go from this episode?
So they talked to him.
Something to bring up potentially.
What up,
Yeah.
Jordan?
First
Jordan.
scene.
Jordan, let's hear it.
First scene.
Yeah.
Duper, as we're gonna call him, or Duper, as you guys
He's
call him. right?
covered in blood and stuff.
Covered in blood. Sends out a text.
Oh yeah.
The conversation is lively around the dinner table.
Yes.
Who does he send the text to? We're not totally sure at the time, but he has Hutch destroy that phone with a shotgun. That's what we know.
Okay, that shot, I feel like there were a ton of shots like the one of the shotgun blowing up the phone, and a lot of like not exposition, what do you call like establishing shots of like the exterior building or something like that looked exactly like they would have in 1991 or 2 or whatever. I don't know if that's been happening this entire season, but I definitely noticed it this season. Do you know what I'm talking about? There were certain like shots that were like framed and like paced exactly like the original.
Oh yeah.
run.
Yeah, for sure.
It was awesome.
I think specifically when they show that like outside footage of the Great Northern before we see
Yes,
the Ben and Beverly scene,
absolutely, yeah.
that almost looked like
Looked
it was from the 80s.
Yeah,
A little grainy and whatnot.
Yeah,
totally.
And you kind of heard this in this episode, some of the older music as well.
Yes.
But that scene specifically, and the shotgun, shooting the phone.
Yeah.
there's definitely some throwback moments there. So I'm with you. For
throwback for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Throwback Sunday.
I'm assuming you're kind of getting at.
Yep.
We figure out where that text went.
We do. It goes to Diane.
How do we
Die.
feel about Diane right now?
Is she sketch?
Why is she so nervous on the plane? There's this number or I don't know. She's getting a call. Or,
I think she goes for her phone to try to do something,
But it's
and
blocked.
sees that it's blocked.
probably because she's on a FBI plane. And
yeah.
She's not an employee anymore.
That would be my guess.
Do you think she knows who that text is from? Do you think she knows it's from Dupere?
I can't remember her reaction.
Well, she looked nervous.
Yeah?
She did.
Like she knew the context of it. Whether Diane's good or bad, she obviously knows this is coming from the Cooper that
Yeah.
did some harm to her.
Right.
Allegedly.
Well, yeah, or is working with.
Right.
Yeah, her and Cole have not had a conversation yet about. Remember after the
Oh yeah,
interrogation?
that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have a conversation. Kevin does a much better Gordon Cole. I'm bad at that.
Yours is up there though. I wouldn't. Don't talk yourself down on your Gordon Cole
Well,
impersonation.
I'll keep trying. I'll be an expert next
Keep
time.
trying.
It's what the mirror in our bathroom is for.
Oh gosh, the rest of this episode too is what else?
A little bit bonkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what that. I forgot my notes.
I don't know what order these things happen, but Jerry is having his episode with his own foot.
Yeah, he's still
There's
pretty high.
A voice is heard. I don't know if it's in his own head or if it's, like,
I'm not your foot.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the second scene we've seen with Jerry when he's freaking out. Because the first scene, it was either a couple episodes ago when he calls Ben Horn and he said, I'm freaking out or whatever. And he goes, what does he say?
I think I'm high?
Yeah, I think I'm high. And so then you have this one when he says, I'm not your foot. And I wonder if that like has any significance to what's going to happen. Because like, why keep showing it,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
think so. I think he's just being featured because he's just sort of a crowd
Lovable-
favorite. Yeah.
A lovable legacy character,
Yeah,
like you
yes.
said.
Legacy.
His legacy ranking is going to be up there.
Yep. And then Ben and
Beverly
Beverly are back at it.
still trying to figure out where the noise is coming from.
Yep.
Seems like they get close to it, but then they get close to each other.
Exactly. And Ben
He's Mr.
draws the line.
He's Mr. Noble ever since he snapped out of his Civil War phase.
Right. She says, "You're a good man."
He is back with the cigars, if you remember.
Really?
He had the carrots in the end of the second season after
Oh,
he
yeah,
snapped out of
yeah.
his phase. He's back, smoking the Stogs, but I think he's trying
These
to.
Cubans, because they lifted the embargo.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Tell me, are they?
Wonder what the import rate is like for Northwest,
Northwest.
region of the U.S.
So that was inconclusive.
Yeah, not really a factor, and I don't. My guess is we probably won't hear too much more regarding that storyline, especially with her husband who is sick.
Yeah.
Tom, I believe his name was, who we all thought maybe was going to be Sheriff Truman, but
Yeah.
not.
And then we get what might be the most confusing thing I've seen this entire season. More confusing than all of episode 8. We go to the Roadhouse. There's a DJ on stage. Who's that? Who do you guys know who that is?
I don't. I'm unfamiliar, but a lot of people knew who the blonde.
DJ Cliff Bar. I don't know.
A lot of people knew who the blonde armpit gal was. Sky Fiera.
What, actress or
That's
character?
her. That's her name.
Oh, really?
That's her
Yeah.
actress. The real name.
Okay, they
she's
have-
a pop singer
They have a conversation that
about
is
serving
fucking
burgers.
utter
flipping burgers.
nonsense.
Yeah.
And then it switches to the other band that was on a few episodes ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Our Rivera Simone.
Yep.
Okay, the way they decided to like cut this up is way more shocking to me than, like I said, episode 8.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
It's really random for sure. And
Yeah.
we have no context, and who knows? It might be huge later on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of scenes in this show that are sometimes you're kind of like, ugh, like that was hard to watch or that was annoying or whatever. But her scratching her armpit may be one of the hardest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
And we still
It was
don't
the
even know what
hardest
the
thing to
hell
watch.
happens with Amanda Seyfried's character who
Yeah.
does all that coke and is looking up in the sky.
like, what do you guys make of this? From the point the guy steps through the Roadhouse sign reflected in the puddle to the time the credits go up. Break it down for me because
Well, it seems like she's not very good at serving burgers.
no, she's fine. She got a job across the street.
Oh,
serves
right.
burgers.
I just like
made a
I like that
lateral
expression. I'm
move.
not waiting tables. I'm serving one specific food.
Just burgers.
Serving burgers.
Yeah.
And maybe it is a strictly like a Matt's Bar kind of place in Minneapolis, like a Juicy Lucy joint. Like, yeah, I'm serving burgers, I guess.
Serving burgers.
What I will say during this scene, I think I came to the realization that for sure in this season, I like don't know if I would like hanging out at the Double R. It like
The double R
or not the Double R. I apologize. I don't know if I would
Roadhouse?
like hanging out at the Roadhouse.
I would like it if I'd like it half the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like if I would agree. Like if there is going to be the Cactus Blossoms playing,
If the
or
Cactus-
if there's going to be
The Chromatics.
the
Nine Inch
Chromatics, that's great. I'm going to be there. I'll grab a pint. Hopefully James Hurley will buy me one.
Ice cold.
Ice cold, baby. And
You get like a raw crew together. You get Hawk and someone else, but
Yeah.
but there's also some
There's some dark shit going on.
And that DJ, first of all, that DJ, the music he's playing, not gonna lie, Nine Inch Nails kind of gives me nightmares. I
Yeah.
just feel like they're a little
Yeah.
intense. Every time I walk in there, I feel like my heart rate would go up to about 184 beats per minute.
Yeah, and especially when there's like physical, like abuse being done to
Oh,
a
yeah.
girl, and no one does anything about
yeah,
it.
do they not have a fucking door guy there?
Or like
Well, they do. It's just what's Jacques Cousteau's
any,
nude?
or anybody with eyes. Like,
Oh, let's just let in like 15-year-olds. Like it's chill. Don't worry about it because we're the
Yeah.
Bang Bang.
with the Bang Bang Bar.
Do you think Jean-Michel Renault ever does a bang bang? Like he goes
The food Bang Bang.
the food bang bang.
I did a Bang Bang today.
Did you? So
What's
are
a
you?
bang bang?
Are you okay? So
Okay, is this like a Mick gangbang?
Little dovetail here.
no, this is a.
I know what you're talking about though.
Louis C.K. invented this term, I believe.
Yeah.
At least made this popular. It's where you go to two restaurants, both being totally different in style, but you go to them back to back and eat full meals. So in this episode of his show, they go eat Indian food and then they go across town to like an American diner.
Right
And-
after.
And you pig the hell out.
Yep. Bang Bang.
Do you
Yep.
know what would be a
You
great?
did that today?
Yeah, what was your
I'm a
Bang Bang
little-
day today?
Okay, so I just got a job downtown Minneapolis.
Congrats,
Hey,
man.
thanks, appreciate it.
Like you just got it today?
No, I've had it for a month or so, but I was not working in downtown before. I was working over in West End. But I'm trying to traverse the Skyways.
Yeah.
And I've made it about 4 restaurants in because I get too nervous.
It's a
and then
whole
I get-
thing
yeah.
down
Yeah.
there.
It's a thing. So
Yeah.
there's this little pizza place. I was like, hey, I'm also a picky eater. So
Yeah.
I was like, I know I like pizza. And I asked the guy, I said, I'll get 1 cheese, please, and 1 sausage. And he didn't hear me say 1 sausage. So he gave me 1 cheese. And I didn't want to say, hey, can I get a sausage? Because I was already this far.
But in the
I
back of your
couldn't-
head, you're like, hey, I can bang bang. now.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's
This
exactly
is
what I
enough.
did.
I got to go somewhere else.
So I went to a Chinese place. I got an egg roll, and it was great. So there's
That's
the
it?
bang
One
bang.
piece of pizza and 1 egg roll?
There's a couple of breadsticks.
That's not like
in
a
there.
full meal.
Nah, I know.
You're kind of going like you're doing like what I used to do, the Tour de France.
Ooh,
The Tour de France is when I lived in downtown St. Paul.
Okay.
And there was an exit like a mile away with like all the fast food places you can imagine. There was Arby's, Sonic. So I'd go to Sonic for the drink because
Okay.
they got,
yeah, they got the
good
orange
treat.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Limeade?
Yeah, a limeade or
Happy hour?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
The orange
You go to-
Lazarus, Pete and Pete.
You go to Arby's for like a roast beef sando. Go to McDonald's for the fries. Go to Taco Bell for the churros.
Oh, so you build your own.
That's the
Wow.
Tour de France. That's not
Tour
quite
de
what,
fast food.
What you did
Is it-
today was
is
not
it-
a bang bang. That's a Tour de France.
It was more like a bang bang, not
Yeah,
like a
sure.
bang bang.
Okay.
Is the Tour de France like specific items from specific places, or just like cherry picking whatever your fancy is that day?
What you're fancying that day? Yeah.
'Cause it's not like, I mean, I assume, and I would be shocked if you'd get fries anywhere other than McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's the best thing they will ever have on their menu,
Ever.
too.
So Casey, you've got the lasagna today. Noah, you have the meat pie.
Yep.
Let's talk bang bangs. Where are we going after this? What are we getting?
I think we're going to the Buckhorn Federal Prison, right?
Hell yeah.
Or the jail.
I got a-
wherever William Hastings is.
I got the PJ gassing up right now. We're going to head out there.
Oh yeah.
My treat.
Hell yeah.
Wait, what did you say? Where are we going?
I think we're going to Buckhorn.
For what?
I thought
We're going to talk to William Hastings here.
Oh, I thought there was like some food that you're talking about.
No, I think there's just some bad prison food where he is.
I don't think I've ever done a bang bang, but I want to every day.
Well, maybe before the podcast next week, we'll do Crescent Moon pizza and then some tacos somewhere.
Hell yeah. Have we had Crescent Moon together before?
No, but I've had it.
That's the best.
Football
Have you had
pizza?
this? Football pizza?
you know I lived like a block and a half away from there for 2 years, and my roommate actually did some graphic design for them.
Really?
I don't think he actually did it for them. He did it for a school project, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend. But no, and I told you guys earlier, I'm a picky eater. The football pizza thing is,
Oh, shut up.
there's something about it that, like, should pizza be shaped like a football?
Okay.
What are you saying?
My God.
Okay, for anyone that doesn't know, the football pizza is a
Afghanistan style.
pizza in a football shape
Yeah.
on naan bread.
It's
It's
good.
the best pizza.
I'm not even like an art house eater either, but I think it's pretty damn good.
Would this be an art house kind of place? I will say this. I've heard tremendous things.
It's good pizza.
I've heard
It comes with
absolutely
the
great
green
things.
sauce. That's
I don't remember it
it's
coming with.
TDF.
What's TDF?
Die for.
Oh,
Nice.
Jesus. Oh, I suppose we should probably wrap up the episode.
Oh
here
yeah,
and
let's
talk about.
Let's talk about Twin Peaks some more.
Yeah, I think Matthew Lillard scene as
Oh,
William
yeah.
Hastings.
Okay.
Breaking down, getting interviewed by Tammy Preston. Fruitcake, anyone for what it's worth, by Albert. But he really wants to go to the Bahamas. He
Scuba
wants
diving.
scuba dive, drink mixed drinks,
Wait,
soak up the sun.
Was he basically saying that he got involved with all this stuff, but all he really wanted to do was go to the Bahamas with her?
Pretty much.
And she dragged him into.
Well,
this-
it's not like both of them were
Yeah.
interested in this research of the Black Lodge. It seemed like
Yeah.
they were just kind of novice type, fan types. A much less extreme version of Wyndham Earl, basically.
sure.
But they found a portal. That
the
sounds
zone.
like to the zone.
It's cool that there's different ways to get there,
Mm-hmm.
like all over the country, maybe the world.
Yeah.
And it's not just a Twin Peaks random
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
you
we
know?
see, the bad Cooper when he's throwing up in his car. The curtain's kind of in front,
Right,
like
yeah.
right. He was about to enter it.
Yeah.
But obviously, they went there. They saw the major.
There's just really quick on the major. Do you want to? Sorry, I'll let you explain what they see with the major.
Oh no! Well, they see the major, and he says Cooper, Cooper, and then his head floats up in the air, and so
it was beautiful.
yeah, yep. So my theory is that even though he supposedly died 25 years ago, the body that's at the morgue right now of a 45-year-old
Has been preserved in the zone?
Exactly,
Yes.
and I think someone was saying it's maybe Ray. The guy who shot Bad Cooper.
Who
in
tricked
episode-
him.
Yep.
Tricked you,
I
fucker.
tricked you, yeah. Who maybe killed the librarian
Oh,
and
right.
put their head and body together
Okay.
in that apartment.
Sure.
I don't know why it's Ray necessarily, but he has the information
Yeah.
that Bad Cooper wants.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and Major Briggs gives the coordinates to both the librarian and the principal, William Hastings.
Right. Oh, that's what the coordinates are.
Yes.
Let's hope that Duper does not get them.
Yeah. So we also find out too that the guy from like the very first episode when he told the casino dude Todd, like you never want to know a person like this.
Yep.
We find out that he's probably talking about Bad Coop.
Yep. Cooper tells him, he asks him, is it done? He goes, not yet. And he says, it better be by the next time I call.
So I think the reason why like that one lady got killed and because they're trying to eliminate people who can't take care of getting rid of Dougie Cooper.
Right. I think that's
I think
what
all
he-
these people essentially work for Bad Cooper.
and what he was asking him was, is Dougie dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he knows there's another Cooper out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he coordinated a thing to keep him from switching places with him.
Yep.
I think he knows he's on there. He's trying. He. I think he set up those two dudes that were going to shoot him in Jade's Jeep.
They set up the car bomb too.
Right. Yes.
I
Exactly.
mean, they're setting up a lot, and I think
he's trying to get rid of Cooper, and even though he's in like a Dougie coma, he's still like battling off everybody.
Yeah.
Either like on accident or with
karate chopping
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
dudes in the neck.
Which is, I hope that it really comes to a head and there's a sweet fight.
I also too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
like a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I mean,
course.
it's my belief, and my belief only, that I think the way we see Cooper wake up is to see his shadow self and to now face it with.
He's just gonna snap
I think he's gonna face his shadow self
with imperfect courage.
with perfect courage. Now,
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think we'll see it for a little while, but
Like give or take 8 episodes.
probably. I think people have this hope that Cooper is gonna snap out of it. We're gonna see the fun-loving Dale Cooper.
Yeah.
No, I think this season is mostly going to be about him
Returning.
returning
Yeah.
later on,
Right.
having to kill Doppel Cooper.
And everybody that we know kind of helping him return.
Precisely.
Yes. Which is great.
Yeah.
I'd be psyched.
Yeah.
I think that's all I really got from this episode.
That's all I got as well.
Yeah.
Jordan, what did you get?
I want to just revisit really quickly. I swear to God, it'll be quick. The William Hastings scene, and I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on what I forget that actor's name.
Matthew Lillard.
He
Lillard.
tweeted that night saying it took him
Not
two-
Damien.
Yeah.
What?
Matthew Lillard tweeted that night of the episode
Yeah.
airing. He said, "Hardest scene I've ever done in my life. Took 2 takes."
Which is that's incredible. To
Yeah.
me. I mean, what were your guys' thoughts on the acting job there?
Well, it's funny that he had to do it. He had to go against Tammy, who she's great, but she's not like
The hard
a
nose.
veteran actor or anything like that.
Well, and she's extremely straight laced and
But
He
are
just-
Cole or Albert? They're not really investigators. So I mean, Albert's
Right.
like a forensics guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just from like an act, like I don't know anything about acting, but
Right.
I think like having a good actor to bounce off of will kind of elevate your performance a little
Absolutely.
bit. But he just he
Kept going.
crushed it.
Yeah.
it was crazy.
I'm glad you guys are saying that because that's my opinion. Is like when I saw that scene, like I thought it was maybe one of the better, not overall scenes, but acted out scenes in the history of Twin Peaks, which is maybe not saying a lot because it is
There's
kinda
not a lot of
corny.
good actors,
It's
yeah.
corny. I mean, him and Leo Johnson. It's tough to.
But you can see him crumbling before you. You see him just like cracking apart and like ending up a pile of dust on the ground. It's
I think you
awesome.
can tell the FBI is on board with what he's saying too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think what was so good about that acting job, what you just said, was you can physically and like emotionally see him crumbling. Like I think in a show where things seem so unbelievable,
Yeah.
like for the first time I was like,
A humanized
oh,
moment.
shit, like I fucking feel for this dude. Like I wanna like give him a hug and I wanna give him mixed drinks and let him soak up the sun like he was like my
Scuba
kid
dive.
or
Scuba dive.
something, you know. And so I thought it was great. I mean, I thought it was great, and
Same.
I hope to see some more of Will Hastings, even though it brings out a lot of raw emotion in me, and I cried a little bit. I
Preach.
didn't cry. Don't tell anybody I cried.
We all kind of were laughing actually.
I know I kind of was too, but that's a defense mechanism. Don't tell anybody I cried.
I just, he made me really want to go to the Bahamas and scuba dive and
Yeah.
drink mixed drinks, even though it's 90
I
degrees
can't
here.
focus on that yet because there's so much to
True.
deal with. We got to tie up these loose ends.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Well, there's 9 more episodes.
9 more.
That's
Wait,
it's great.
8, that 9 and
No, well, we're going to 10,
Okay.
11,
Yep, yep,
12.
yep,
Yep.
and they'll all be consecutive.
Yep. No more breaks. That's
Do you guys
it.
watch Game of Thrones?
No.
You don't
I
at
know.
all?
I know. It's crazy.
Oh, this is easy for you. Like it starts up this next weekend. I'm gonna have to.
Sundays?
Yep. I'm gonna have to divide my time.
Yeah, what are you going to do
Watch both.
on Sunday nights?
Yes.
Well, all right. I won't text you spoilers then.
Oh man, this was a very good episode. How would you rate this episode? 1 out of 10 coffees. How many coffees?
I'd give it 8 coffees.
Yeah.
Because I think it brought back a perfect pacing to episode 8 being so artistic and dramatic. Mm-hmm. The one before that, we saw action after action scene, kind of a heavier, not emotionally heavier, but just, oh shit, like shit's getting raw.
Yeah.
To the artistic episode. And then now we have a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah.
But we found out a lot. And I think the pacing was really good, although
was.
I am confused by the 2 young women at the end of the episode.
Jordan, how many coffees out of 10 would you give this episode?
I'm going to give this one. I'll give it 7.
Okay, 7 coffees.
And I believe a lot with what Noah was saying. It was that, I think it was that really good mixture of, things are happening and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like a lot of stuff's about to go down. Stuff is going down. To that mix that with those scenes of, when Cooper and Diane and Tammy Preston are outside, and it's just them sitting there for like 40 seconds.
You mean Gordon?
Or Gordon, my bad. Yeah. Those three sitting out back, smoking a cigarette. I think it's that perfect mixture of slow and fast. And
Yeah, it's amazing they have enough time to really get a lot of stuff out of the way and like just take a deep breath and have a scene like that
Yeah.
goes on for
Basically
way too long.
55 minutes. I mean, the intro's 2 minutes, and then
Yeah.
you got the credits at the end. I mean,
Yes.
it's a lot. And then this was a good way to get back on track. And with only having 10 episodes left, I think it's going to be relatively, I don't know about fast, but I think the pace will be nice.
Yeah,
here
and
on
they're
out.
heading towards something now.
Absolutely.
Everybody's sort of converging towards a single thing.
Yeah.
Except for this last scene that really confused
the
me.
hamburger server.
Yeah. Yep.
the armpit gal.
Armpit gal.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
about you, Casey? Do you
I give
do
it
you
a
give a rating?
7. I do give it a 7 coffees. It didn't quite live up to episode 7. That's my favorite episode of Twin Peaks of all time. That's a 10. That was a 10.
That was a great
coffees.
episode.
That was a fantastic episode.
Almost every episode of season 2 is a 0 coffees for me, and this is, I would give it a 7.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, no, this is good.
This was really good.
And
Yeah.
and a nice little touch was I did like the fact that they started bringing back that corny little jazz music.
No,
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think it was perfect, especially when they started doing the Deer Meadow Shuffle at the Las Vegas
Yeah.
police department. It kind of gave it more of a movie and TV show feel
Yes.
by having that. And we heard the Laura Palmer theme again. And
I will reiterate, and if I have to give this episode a theme, it would be return to form. Because we've seen episodes this season that like have been like quote return to form. Like this one was like way truer of a sense of return to form. Like we were saying before, some of the shots were like totally taken from the original series. That music was there. I mean, that's something like you've been referencing for a while. Like people want the blah blah blah, the jazz music or whatever, and like
they want the nostalgia
Yes.
kind of like tongue-in-cheek stuff. They want
Yeah.
the cherry pie coffee, the bebop music or whatever.
I think that this was like
I think it gave people that.
even closer than like what was it, episode 4?
Yeah.
that was like very close to it. This was like
I think
awesome
having
in that
when
way.
you have those legacy characters be more of a central focus versus
Yeah.
Dougie, et cetera. When you have, I guess not even Sheriff Truman, but Hawk, Bobby Briggs, especially. I think Bobby has been really good in the limited action we've seen him in.
I agree.
Yeah,
I was
love
hoping,
it.
just really quick, was hoping every time we saw him he was gonna cry. That was what I was
Yeah.
hoping for.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I'll take what he gives us.
I think we're going to see a lot more of him, though.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be leading the way to the Jackrabbit Palace, and
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna give Bobby Briggs MVP of episode 9.
yeah.
wow,
I don't mind
I would say him and Will Hastings are co-MVP.
Oh, they're gonna have to duke it out.
yeah.
They're
Anyway,
gonna have to settle that amongst themselves.
looks like we just got our check.
Oh yes.
Are you?
Giddy up.
Who am I paying today?
You know, since Kevin isn't here, I'm covering this one.
Ooh.
Oh, I love
Don't
it.
tell him.
I won't tell him.
Okay.
I don't know where he is. I thought he was in one city
Oh
in
my
Australia.
God, there's a note on the back of this check, of this bill.
What does it say?
It says, guys, my armpit is itching.
Oh God,
Love,
I don't feel.
love Kevin. I'm in Australia. I'll be back.
I don't feel
in
so
2
good.
weeks. Shit.
I don't feel so good. Oh, well, maybe he can get the bill next time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks for talking about Twin Peaks at the Double R here.
Yep.
And I want to just say a quick thanks for having me, guys. It's been fun.
Hey, thanks for being here, Jordan.
It's been fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Feeling dessert?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Let's
All right.
bang. Let's go over to Cindy's Bakery and grab some donuts.
Oh.
They do like a ice cream. They cut the donut in half, but ice cream.
Maybe like a little road trip to Lamplighter Inn after that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.